Alright guys, I think we are live and welcome to another stream. So, today we have something completely different which we have not seen before, and that is we're going to play some rapid 15 plus 10 against an anonymous GM in a training match, which is supposed to be, well, I won't say secret, but it's definitely not something that will enter the database. So let's play e3 this time. Okay, bishop e7. Now there's bishop d3, there's also b3, there's knight d2, there are many possible moves. Which one do I want to play here? I can also go for knight c3, but then it's not exactly what I want. Okay, let's play with b3. Oh, and hello to Ingo, who tells him that he accidentally turned on the stream. Yeah, that's a rookie blunder by me. So c5 has been played here. Now there are many moves. There's cd5, there's dc5, there's bishop d3, there's bishop b2 also, I think. So let's play, for example, bishop d3 in this game. Takes. And now the strategy for white will be to play bishop b2, knight d2, rook e1, then maybe queen e2, or maybe knight e5, and then we will see. While black will play here, they will play knight c6, and the game will go on. So let's play here. Should I go rook e1 first or knight d2? The opponent does want to stay anonymous, but they have given me, of course, their approval to stream this match. Um, okay, let's start with knight d2. They'll play knight c6. And now knight b4 is probably what they want to play. I can react with a3, of course. It's probably the most reasonable. This is not a threat just yet. Can also play something like queen e2 and then the knight b4, bishop b1. And then a3 back and all the stuff again. Rook c1, I'm not sure if I need the rooks. I think I'd prefer them placed here. So let's play queen e2. Can we do 1 versus 1? No, sorry, I'm not playing against the viewers. But there are many channels who do that. So now, rook c8. Rook d1 is what I want to play. Knight b4, bishop b1. I don't think I'm blundering anything stupid. Now if my opponent would have bishop here and queen here, there would be bishop a3 ideas. But for now he doesn't have them. It's also very possible to put the rooks on c1 and d1. It's another way of playing it. Playing with rook e1 is more ambitious because you're aiming if dc bc, then you're aiming for d5 stuff, and there are also some knight g5, knight d6 things in the idea in the air in the future. So looking forward to the hanging pawns, but gotta go for breakfast first. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it because I don't have much experience playing the hanging pawn structures. But that's why these are training matches where we are practicing. Yeah, I'm still competitive, playing competitively. Um, Okay, so what are the possible plans here? Surely I can play bishop b1 as a prophylactic move. That seems like the most natural. He will go bishop g6 and bishop g7. Um, in the next two moves probably, because to solidify the king's position and also to bring the bishop on the long diagonal, which is of course very reasonable. Knight f1. The problem is that bishop b4 will chase my knight back to d2. Bishop b1 after g6. I'm not 100% sure what's the follow-up. I mean, I want my opponent to play g6, honestly, because then after knight e5, for example, and some things happen here, at least his king side and this diagonal will be weaker. So yeah, maybe I should just play a prophylactic move like h3. That seems to make sense. Before knight e5. Let's try that. Yeah, g6, they're playing the normal plan in this structure. So knight e5 is what I intended now. After dc4, I mean, the problem is that after bc there is knight d4. But after dc, oh wait, knight c6, cd3, takes, this is hanging. So even if I take here, I'm losing, so that's not good. Okay, I will need to play it in a different way then. I'll have to maybe play queen e3 or something like that first. But I don't think that move is undesirable or anything. Let's do that. Okay, now there's also no knight g4. Knight b4 I can always go bishop b1 as I said. And knight e5 is almost 100% sure going to be my next move. So knight e5 takes, pawn takes. Now dc4, bc4 is not, knight e4 is no longer a problem because my queen covers it. And after takes, knight d7 is the most likely move. Yeah, but then I can play cd5 probably, and after ed5, I think I can play f4 or knight f3 and have a good position. And after bishop d5, then I can maybe play knight c4, trying to go knight d6. I mean, kind of like that. So I don't think my opponent will actually touch this knight. But if they don't touch it, then my knight can come here, then we'll threaten knight g5 and all kinds of things. And hello to Pro Finisher. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, my opponent played quite quickly up to this point, and they're obviously familiar with the structure and plans in it. But still, my position, I quite like my position. I'm not sure if I should, but I do. So maybe another thing he could do is, yes, I wanted to mention this bc4. Now dc4, I said that I can take bc, and I definitely can, but then maybe a problem can be knight e5. I'm not 100% sure. Now it's time to think about it, because then if I take with the pawn, then he surely has achieved something in a way that after some knight d7, f4, this pawn is backward, and then I'm not sure if I'm worse or anything, because I'll play bishop e4, knight e4, and the d6 square will be there. So this is surely an option to still go for bc4. For example, bc4, yeah, take knight c5, f4, knight d7, f4, knight c5, then the bishop is hanging, I go bishop c2. Or I go knight e4 and then knight f6, it's also playable. Knight e4, there is bishop e4. Yeah, the alternative is knight c6, bishop c6, bc4. That's more like natural, because now when the queen is on e3, now there's no more e3. Um, yeah, tough decision. A tough decision here. At least it's tough to me. Someone would recapture here immediately, or here. So yeah, takes. Don't think my rooks are perfectly placed, because takes. Maybe there will even be some ideas with b5, followed by knight d5. Yeah, how bad is this? Let me just check this. Knight d7, f4, knight c5. Yeah, I don't actually. I don't really want to mess up the pawn structure. And hello. Oh, good morning to Angelica Chessborn. Hope you are doing well. And to Ina class. Okay, so now the pawns are still connected, controlling the center, but I exchanged one pair of pieces. Usually when you have hanging pawns, you want as many pairs of pieces on the board as possible, but what to do? You can't have anything. And hello to Dan the Man Crow. What is this stream? That's a secret stream. When me playing training rapid matches against tough opposition. Of course, I have permission to stream it from my opponent, but I won't say their name. Yeah, maybe I don't know that I stream. That's also possible. Who knows? Of course, I will look in the chat. You can't write things without me knowing. Usually. Spam time? Hmm. He caught us, so no. I mean, you can do whatever you want. The Nightbot here is not that strict. Now it will be a bit tricky to find the right strategical plan. Will it be to push d5, to go knight b3, c5 maybe? That's very unlikely because of the square. Will it be to bring the other knight to e5 first and then follow it up later? Maybe I like that the most, actually, especially after that move. Um, is it a Vietnamese? I am. My opponent is a grandmaster. I can say that. Um, so after knight f3, and if he doesn't do anything, I will play knight e5. So he can probably play this one with the idea of this, and then bishop takes. Who knows what's going on there after d5, but it's highly unlikely it's good for me. So yeah, queen b7 is extremely logical by my opponent, also pretty strong, probably. Okay, this queen is not perfectly placed, because after all kinds of d5, it's under attack. So an idea would be to play queen g5 for sure. First of all, to protect this stuff, and also to threaten d5. If he plays h6, queen h4, then at least he weakened his king quite a bit. And and yeah, okay, I will not have knight f3 anymore, but still it seems like the best move here, to me at least. Some knight h5s, then I can think about knight b3 or bishop or knight e4 or something, maybe even about g4, even though that's highly unlikely to be any good, but let's see. So many secrets today. Yeah. Considering that I've decided to stop streaming no increment stuff, no increment blitz. Okay, maybe I'll stream occasionally bullet, but that's basically. But in no increment blitz, I will not stream anymore. And these things will be way more instructive if I can stream training rapid matches, tactics, and okay, title Tuesdays will stay as they always were. So we will see. Some things will change on the channel. Dragon B70. But isn't he a Hungarian? I am. Or am I insane? We practically gave it away. We know it's a GM now. Come on, look at the title. Isn't the title supposed to be GM Secret Training Rapid Matches? But some of the Training Rapid Matches I'm playing are not against Grandmasters, but against International Masters. Probably those will be streamed in the future too. Dragon is an IM, but because of the word battles in his name, I see. No, you can't guess by that. So I intended to go Queen h4 here to keep an eye on the knight and keep threatening d5. So I think I will do just that. If g5, then I only have one square on g3, but that does seem to be enough because he weakened quite a lot. After queen g3, knight h5, I can go queen e3 again, and now I achieved something because he weakened his king side a lot, and he can indeed go knight f4, but after bishop f1 or preferably bishop e4, I mean this knight, I'm not sure if it's worth it. We'll see. It's definitely a possible plan for him to go g5, but I don't know how bad, if it's bad or how bad it is. Let's see. He managed to win in Bullet versus GM Min Lee. Feels amazing. Oh, that's a huge win. Congratulations on that, because Min Lee is extremely strong in Blitz and Bullet. Um, he's a top specialist in it. 24-hour stream. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. He's a Vietnamese Hungarian. Yeah, that's true, because his name is Tao Min, or if I remember correctly. Bishops are very strong here, yeah. I mean, my play is aimed with these hanging pawns. The play is usually aimed for some push and then some opening of the position, no matter where the hanging pawns are. Usually it's connected with some d5 push, and then something explodes, and in a sharp tactical struggle, you trick somehow your opponent. But yeah, as I've said, this is why I'm playing this to practice things, because I'm not a big expert in hanging pawns. I almost never play them. I can probably remember on my fingers on one hand all the games in which I had hanging pawns. Uh, yeah, you both played like Potters but hit Berserked. Today are Bullet Brawls and Titled Arena in Bullet and Lichess. So those things, I don't know if I will or if I can play them. But yeah, maybe. And then maybe we also get some battles against Min Lee and other strong bullet position. Have you been studying Gary Kasparov's Queen's Indian defense games for his management of hanging pawns? I mean, I saw some of the games, but I have not studied it all. And the reason for that is that it's not simply not have been a part of my repertoire, and I have been focusing on other things. But of course, it's a very useful thing to learn. Also, not an expert in an isolated pawn. Maybe we should also play a secret match. What do you think? I mean, all the secret training matches options I will gladly welcome. And then maybe stream. Okay, so d5 immediately. Ed takes. As far as I can see, it doesn't work due to this. However, with queen d8, I'm definitely happy because my opponent was there several moves ago, and they intended to put the queen on b7 to be more active. And now they had to switch plans. But yeah, I don't really see a great way to continue for myself because I can't go straightforwardly with d5. I need some preparation of that, but I'm not sure what to improve. Maybe knight b3 is a move, which could be because like takes just doesn't add up. This knight I would, if I could choose a square for it, I would choose e3. So this also should be an option to support d5. But I don't know, I'm wasting some time. Knight of 1. G5. Is this now better for my opponent with Queen G3? Yeah, I can't say I'm too happy with that. Also with Knight H5, I'm not that happy because then I have to trade the queens. Usually I don't want to trade the queens in the isolated one. The knight's coming to F4 and this will be hanging. So I probably need to move the queen away now. That's why he played Queen D8 in the first place. Maybe I should go here. Then Knight H5, I have Queen E3 normally. Z5 a move after Queen F4. No, I just take D and the F, right? Let's try that. And then later, maybe I can play knight f3 next move. That's also a viable option because now there is no more queen b7 to stop me from doing that. What should be my account name? Chess is not fair too. Knight b3 first sets up a d-file tricks perhaps? Definitely, but I don't think I'm in time because of knight h5. And then, okay, I can play queen g4, but seems seems weird. But it would reinforce this pawn. I don't want to trade queens or allow these kind of things. Also, knight b3, there was this g5, queen g3, knight h5 with knight f4. And then, okay, maybe it was still good, but then there wouldn't have bishop e4 when the knight is on f4 because it takes and the c4 pawn would hang. So yeah, hanging pawns are a very tricky thing to play. And what my opponent has against them, this double fianchetto, that's usually the best possible thing to have against the hanging pawns. If the bishop was on e7 and not on g7, it would be way easier for me because this stuff wouldn't be hanging all the time. So yeah, that's why my opponent correctly plays g6 bishop g7 plan. You were wondering about c5 for bishop a6? I mean, if you ever play c5, this square is extremely weak, the d5 square. So and then when something comes to d5, this is extremely weak. So that's, I think, a big strategical mistake. I would never advise to play such things in the hanging pawns. Okay, so he goes there. If I go to h4, then then probably the reason it's different is that this is possible. So yeah, probably queen e3 is best because you don't want to trade queens. That was my original idea. Now he can play this move. He could have done it probably here too, but no, he could not have done it here. He could have done it after g5 maybe, but now he's claiming that he achieved something which may be true. Now after queen b7, yeah, I probably should play this because f3 looks extremely ugly. I mean, that's also possible, like to destroy this diagonal completely. It gives up some squares, but I'm not sure how much. And bishop f1 does move bishop to more passive square. Kind of like f3 more when I look at it more closely, because the knight is going to come to f4, to e4, sorry, and then I'll maybe be able to improve my pawn structure further. My opponent could play b5. That's a huge problem. Because then I would probably have to play c5. Yeah, this has not gone according to plan, that's for sure. And that's why those are training games. You lose a training game, you won't lose in the same structure a classical game. Yeah, okay, let's play f3. Even after bishop f1 there would be this move. I'm also getting down on the clock. You know my opponent? I'm not sure. Possibly. Yeah, and knight h5 looks like trouble on the dark squares, but if the bishop was on d6, yes, but now I don't think that's too dangerous. He wants b5, not that. Then Gliran? Yeah, maybe. During the Tata Steel break, he's playing against me. Why not bishop f1? I mean, b5 would have come again, and my idea with f3 is not that much to defend this, but to gain this square. And now I will have knight e4 in the future, and it's possibilities of recapturing like this. Okay, now I have to play c5, I think. I don't have any other good move because other things seem to be worse. But okay, he will go here, but now I have not, even if he goes there, I will play queen f2 and then move the bishop and try for knight e4, knight d6 because he also created some weaknesses. And now f3 is useful because if he ever captures the knight on e4, I can take with like this, and otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that if my bishop was on f1. So that's the point of f3. And yeah, had he not gone knight d5, I would go knight e4 anyway because the possibilities of recapturing still exists. The possibility, sorry. Now you can play a move like f5. I'm not sure how good it is, but it does stop my idea. Does stop my idea to an extent. And then I have a choice between f4 and this, which like f5, f4 would allow this stuff. I'm not sure if it's good. Or just some, I don't know, maybe queen g3 or knight b3, solidifying moves. It's not what I really want. Knight b3 has its idea too. To put the knight on a5, it could be what I'm going to play. He can play something like knight b4, but then I think bishop b1 and all good because knight e4 is coming next. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's a subtlety. These subtleties are important in classical games, as you guys know. My dark square bishop is kind of sad, definitely. That's a risk you have to take when playing the hanging pawn. Sometimes this bishop will be in trouble. But my opponent played very good strategically up to this point, I think. Yeah, they're very sus, except I know the opponent. I would be a good friend with the King Ding. We both like Frozen. How do you know Ding likes Frozen? Yeah, if I was to be expected, I think knight b3 is the best thing I can do here. I mean, I can't really. I would like the knight on e5, of course. But f4 weakens so many squares that I just can't. I don't think I can afford it. Yeah, this. And now I intended to go queen d2. Trying to put my knight or queen there. And now it's possible that my strategy will backfire because of as who said it in the chat, the dark squares being weak with queen g3 and knight f4. So after queen g3 I will probably have to go queen there back. But what can you do? If I can get in knight a5 and maybe take here, then b5 could be weaker. I mean, there are weaknesses in black's position too. So yeah, I mean, we will just see what happens. Still think black is the only one who was better in this game. Yeah, f5 was strong, but that's pure prophylaxis. Nimso style stopping my plan. It was the move that first came to my mind as well. Because he was frozen during one of the games versus Nepo. Yeah. Well, he doesn't have the Elsa nickname yet, so and that was a sad day. And now he wants knight f4, and I think I need to get rid of these queens because if I allow knight f4, I mean I could have contemplated something like king h1, knight f4, bishop f1, but I'm not sure how to get rid of this queen then. And what I played now is aimed against that. This was my original plan anyway, because now if we trade the queens, as we said, I don't really want to trade the queens, but I don't have a choice. And secondly, now when the knight is coming to a5, then the b5 pawn will be weak, and I will get some play. At least I should. So after f5, I'm happier to trade the queens than I was before. Yeah, he won't. Yeah, Ding won anyway. Okay, and hello to 10 make at 77. Game is still going, and we got the hanging pawns. Yeah, that's right, Ingo. Hope you had a nice breakfast. Of course, GM's name Nimzovich. I'm like you guys know that I'm a big fan of classical games and old players. I really have huge respect for each and every one of them. They had to do everything alone without any kind of support, help, engines. They were just analyzing games, understanding things themselves. Love this guy with his speech against Steinitz. Who is doing that? Okay, Angelica, have a nice day and stream in the future. We can raid you if you will start streaming early. But I don't know. You prep for streams so professional? Of course she does. I mean, people don't have 10k plus followers or 12k plus. I'm not even sure without being a professional streamer. Okay, so night before that was one of the ideas. The moves I was thinking about. So this is hanging. This bishop, I don't want to give it up. But if I go here, then maybe knight a2 is a problem. Still, there is rook a1, knight before rook a7. I'm not sure about that, but I don't really want to go to b1. It's probably better to go to b1 though. Still, after bishop d5. Yeah, bishop d5, I would probably need to play knight c1 with the idea of a3 and then knight d3. Bishop b1, bishop d5, knight c1. And then the knight's coming to c6, and I can't go knight d3 because this stuff is hanging. So bishop a1 is no good. It allows this. Bishop f1 prevents it. Also, I can go knight a5. I don't want to give up that bishop. I really don't. No, I think by the process of elimination I have to do this. So all the other moves seem like complete garbage. This I'm not happy with either. Black's better for the whole game. Maybe I can survive. Knight c2 is not a problem for now, but I need to keep the motive. Need to understand the motive. In his book, My System, he's dissing him. Okay, I mean that's just if you have some rival who is doing quite good against you or something, then very often things like this happen. Hmm. Okay, a3 seems logical. Kick the knight back to d5, and then go knight a5. Yeah, I think I want the knight on d5 so that he isn't able to go bishop d5 and knight c6. I think. Bishop d5 and now I just take, that's not a problem. How to go back, then I will achieve at least knight a5. Now I'm a bit happier than I was 2 moves ago. Although I'm not sure if a5 is the right square, by the way, now when I look at it. After knight d5 I can go knight c1. And knight d3, trying to go knight b4 or knight e5. It's also a very viable option. I'm getting low on the clock, so I will have to speed up sooner. Maybe see you in the evening for the Bullet Brawl? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll stream the Bullet Brawl on Titled Arena. Bullet I'll still play sometimes. There's only no Increment Blitz I have decided to quit. Yeah, crushing me in Bullet Brawl, let's go. For girls there is much to prep, of course. Yeah, and the games from Bundesliga are very interesting. How dumb is knight a5? I mean, Didn't want to give up the bishop. It was possible, but he would take and go knight bishop d5. Yeah, that game against Sonia was interesting. Yeah, exactly. Knight d5 now is not. Yeah, maybe you can borrow the account. I'm not sure how much people would like it. Okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Is this worth it? I mean, I would guess no, because he would play immediately a5 and knight d3, b4. 95 he would probably take, and then go rook a8. And this bishop would still stay quite bad. So I think I should go here, but I'm not 100% sure. I want to take this bishop, not this one, surprisingly enough. I think, at least. Could be saying nonsense. But if I take this one, then in the future I will be able to break through with a4 and activate the light squared bishop, which I think is quite useful. If this, maybe I can even go a4 immediately. Okay, now comes the part where I'll have to ignore the chat a bit and focus, because I only have... Okay, it's 15 plus 10, that's good. I can't get flagged or anything. But, yeah, I'll have to be ignoring the chat and play quicker. And good morning to Shelling. Hope you had a nice stream on that evening. Black played a game for Kramnik? No, that he's a strong GM, stronger than me. I have a bad score against him in these training rapid games. Okay, goes there. Yeah, I do know who he is. Why not play on Chess.com? Yeah, I really hope that it's more instructive than those stupid blitz games where I always get flagged. Okay, so let's think about this. If I go a4, he could maybe take, and after bishop a6 go rook 8, and then takes, and then strategically lost. So I should probably get rid of the bishop. What's the right move order? It could be takes and knight c4 too. That's extremely hard to parry. Okay, a4 I think I should play. After takes, knight c4. Threatening here. If I'm not satisfied with that, I will just take here and go bishop c4. Seems more logical. Bishop and b2 is stupid. I would need it on some different square. Maybe the whole a4 thing was dumb too. It was too soon to play it, I think, actually. I could have made an improving move. I don't know which one though. Maybe some rook a1, rook b1 or something. Yeah, knight c4, there could be a problem with rook b8, knight d6, king e7. Then I can't go there. Maybe I can... Okay, rook a1 now, there's bishop b5. Yeah, let's play knight c4. Yeah, the time trouble is going to hurt me in this game, unfortunately. That's not good. Now he can make this move, which I didn't understand first. Otherwise I would not have gone for all of this. My bishop being stupid on g4 was not supposed to open up things. He didn't play it in the best way in that part of the game. He did not play it in the best possible way. He gave me chances, but I didn't exploit them. What's worst? There are threats like this if I move the rook from d1. It's even worse. Yeah, I got myself into huge amount of trouble. Now to make a move like this, probably. Which is, of course, horrible. Yeah, I got outplayed there. It's harder when streaming, but I've burned quite a lot of time. I've burned too much time. We're going to play 4 games, by the way. I will analyze after all 4 games have been played. I will analyze them. I mean, I can give this check next move. Maybe it's better to go here first. Because he can't stop the check. I mean, he can move the king, then it's not check, but you know what I mean. Bishop f8, there's this. Try to parry the b file first. Yeah, black gave me some chances, but don't even say that he's cheating or something. He's not cheating. That's a very strong grandmaster. His peak was 2660 or 70. You can say that. Or 2700, I'm not sure. Ah, you're going to Oberhausen to play Deutsche Mannschaftspokal. Definitely, I wish you good games there and make the team proud. Okay, do I want to go to d6 or I mean I can go to a5 now. Let's go back. Now I'm not sure if what my knight will be doing on d6 after this. And now he can't do this because I will take him and do this, and a6 is still hanging. And the game is still not over, by the way. It's not that I was lost at any point, it was just worse. Ja, veel geluk, Schelling. Veel geluk. Kann man das online verfolgen? Eine gute Frage. An official stream announcement. Yeah. Okay, now probably I should take, right? Because knight b4, there is still bishop c4 with this thing hanging, and he's not in time to take d4. I mean, he is. He can do it, but not sure if it's any good. So he takes that one first. Okay, bishop b7 is surely a move. Maybe he didn't see that one. I think that's best, I think. Because of these old threats. Now 96 is also a threat. I think my position is slowly improving. Okay, of course, in time troubles, everything is possible. Sometimes we have been missing checkmates and all kinds of things in these training rapid games. Yeah, a4 was cool, but I don't think it was good. Should have prepared it first. Nein, meine Grammatik ist schrecklich. Und in Deutsch spreche ich nur ein bisschen. Aber was zu tun. Jetzt kann ich... Okay, now I'll actually start streaming, start speaking in German. Okay, I can go here maybe, then takes d6, rook c8. And I don't know if it's good. Let's give a check first. If he goes there, then I'll be able to play my knight c4, I suppose. Maybe I should have gone knight c4 first. But then there was king c6, rook b6, king d5. No, then there's knight e3 checkmate. Knight c4 first was probably stronger. So takes knight b6, king d8. They don't have anything unbelievable. Let's go here. If he takes, he gets checkmated. Yeah, in the end, all of this becomes very... Yeah, now I have to go for this after all. And it's absolutely not what I wanted. I'm gonna give a check here. Check here. See if there's king d6. Okay, then let's make a move like this, which I'm 100% unhappy about. Because after this I'll have to suffer in an endgame for a long time. But yeah, I had so many chances there. It's surely better. Let's go knight 8. Probably that seems best. That seems best to go to a rook, complete rook endgame and not leave the knights on the board. Okay, I could have played knight c4, rook c6, knight e5, but then there is rook a6. Yeah, I had so many chances there. Stupid time trouble. What can you do? And now it's long suffering again. It's a weird structure for 4 against 3. And I have to go back. Oh, it's also not ideal. Should I play this? But then I can go g5. Not sure about that. I'll try to play h4 to stop g5. Then maybe if I can go here and here it should be easily holdable. I go f4. I think I should. So don't want my king to remain down there. Yeah, this seems best. Yeah, poor black threw it, but me threw I threw it even. I mean, we both had an awful lot of chances there. 4 against 3. I don't know how many winning chances actually it has. I should probably play g3 here. Even though my king is cut off. I can go g4. If he ever takes, then I think I should be able to hold, even though I'm not 100% sure. I'm never sure when it's about rook end games or any end games. I'm just so bad in end games. But yeah, if he plays some g4, if he won't be able to attack this pawn because whenever he attacks it, I go king up and defend it, and I will cut the king off. So now he can't really make progress. At least I hope so. Just play some king g1 or something. Okay, he will try to put the rook here, but now I go king up. I'm thinking about the pawn endgame, but even if it's a draw, which it probably isn't, there is no real reason why would you enter such things. So let's keep the rooks on the board. I mean, it should be an easy job, but it's never sure when I'm playing. Yeah, let's put the rook here to protect this pawn all the time. Should I go king up or not? That's always a difficult question in rook endgames. Should you defend actively or passively? Here I'm trying to defend actively, which could backfire, I suppose. But we will see. It should be an easy draw objectively. I mean, I've both won and lost way deader draws. Maybe it would have been easier to just keep the rook there. Rook g2, I'll have to go back. It's always draw until you're mistaken, of course. The starting chess position is a draw until you're mistaken. Let's cut the king off for now. I can go rook d6, then I'll go back and no harm done. Hmm. I'm not sure if I screwed up slightly or not. I'll try to cut my opponent's king off on the b file if possible. And I forgot that he can go here. Great. Just great. Then I'll have to cut him off on the c file. And I want it to be as far away from my king as possible. That should give me additional options. Can go to c5 though. And then I probably go back and hopefully no harm done. Yeah, I'm not sure if he could have gone with king to h5 because I would be able to attack the pawn on e6 and then he would have to defend passively and then I would go king g2 and king h3. But maybe, I don't know. We'll analyze surely all the games after they're played. And the wise man once said sometimes you're wrong. Yeah. Haven't I said that? And that would mean it wasn't said by a wise man. My opponent is a GM who is stronger than me, as you can see by the score. Ante. But he's playing from an anonymous account. Okay, time to give a check. And to go here, I think. I'm trying to activate a bit. The rook. Yeah, some mysterious GM making the moves out of the shadows. Now should I go back or not? Considering the rook is there, probably yes. I'm solid, I need to just hang on there. Now, if the rook doesn't remain here, I can go back, and if it does, then I'll be able to give all the side checks I want. I think I should go back, but everything should be holding. But I will never, like, I should never become, how do you say? I should never stop calculating or think about the position and say, okay, now it's going to be a draw. I should focus as much as possible. Now my opponent can maybe go here. Hopefully I haven't screwed up too much. If I'm able to chase the king away, then I'll be able to go here, rook g2, king d4. That position we had already. So he'll probably have to go somewhere up with the king. Yeah, maybe I have screwed it up somewhere. It's very, very possible. Because if he's able to go rook f3, I will maybe lose this pawn. Okay, so now let's think about this. Here, check, king b4. Takes. Yeah, that I lose. Unbelievable. I probably lose after king b4 now, by the way. Because after rook a6, there is still this thing, and after takes, king d4 here. No, but then I have rook b6. But I still lose, I think. Yeah, I think I'm still losing. And after, if I try to defend with rook d3, there is... But wait, there is rook b3, take. No, the pawn endgame might still be drawn. Let's try that. Because maybe I can take... Okay, now I can go king d4, no? Now I should be out of the woods with this and rook e3. Or not. He has this. Checkmate rat. Seems like can only move to me because here he would take. When you're playing against strong GMs, they will always try to defeat you when they're slightly better. I'm not a strong GM, but I would have done the same thing for sure. Guess I have to cut that king off now. That's very important. And if he goes there, I think I can attack this pawn. Okay, now check. It's probably a necessity. In this position we've had before with rook d3. Can I improve on it with this? Rook e3. Why not? I want to go here and take. Maybe reverse things and try to play for a win myself. Why not? This king could stay weak. If it gives a check, I can go here. Rook c4 check was stalemate. Yeah, he's good in grinding like a boss, that's for sure. Okay, now we take. I think we cut the king off. Probably go here. Then when he takes, we go king up, take this one, and try to claim that we have winning chances because, well, this is why. Let's try to turn the tide. That's the most interesting 3 versus 2 I have ever seen. Yeah, rook c4, if it was a stalemate, I didn't see it, but I think I know in which position you mean. But we want to win. We don't want to draw. Okay, take. I suppose king g4. I need this pawn as a shield. Should I go f5 or try to take this immediately? f5? Check here. Rook f2. Rook games are so hard. Unbelievably hard. Rook g1 allows the king to go, but I'll still be able to cut it off. Let's go king here. He will give a check. Maybe I was supposed to do something else. Okay, let's repeat once to gain some time. Now probably I have to take. So my plan here should probably be rook d1, king c7, king here, and rook d3. No, but that's probably drawn. Rook f1 then, king c6, rook f3, take is winning. So here king c6, king g3, and I cut the king off successfully, but yeah, it's drawn. Yeah, I think he survived by a small margin. I don't know if it was winning. Move the king up to support the position. Yeah, it was probably better. Yeah, the problem is that after rook d3 I'm not winning. But yeah, my king being cut off was not possible to do anything about it, unfortunately. Yeah, not much I can do now. Okay, this is probably the longest game I have played. Yeah, finally draw. I don't know else. When we analyze the games later, it will be very interesting. I don't know what to say after that game. When Time Trouble came, it felt like more like a beginner's game than a GM game. Now I'm going to play the King's Indian. Hey, that's my line. Don't play that. That's my line. A great game. I'm not sure that we will call it great. Let's see how do we fare from the black side of this thing in the King's Indian. Let's play c6. Clearly Grandmasters know what to do. So they're playing this line. Maybe they are all reading my course too. Okay, let's go a4. Yeah, it was an exciting game, but not a great one by any means. At least it was more instructive, especially the way he played it. For you, it's way more instructive than me playing stupid no increment blitz. Yeah, when watching such games of Grandmasters, those endings are also very interesting. Suppose by your username you like Fisher Random Chess. When you compare normal chess and Fisher Random Chess, endgames will always stay the same. For example, that's the part of the game which will always stay the same. Um, okay, sorry, I was just checking something on the phone. Opponent plays knight g3. Now there is h5, which is a move. The point to it being that gh, knight h5, there is queen h4, and then we take here. And there are many other moves. There is bishop d7, there is cd5. So yeah, which one to go for? Let's try this one. See how he reacts against it. Watching you play is the wellspring of inspiration. Okay, that's probably trolling. Furnished with that, we shall prevail 4-0 today. Considering that last game and how we played it, both my opponent and myself. Yeah. And talking of training partners, I have several IM and GM training partners I play with anonymously. So that's a good way to stay in shape. Play 15 plus 10 or 25 plus 10 or even 10 plus 5. It's not some blitz or bullet, but you actually think about the position. Yeah. Honestly, I can't really, sorry, restrain from looking at that position immediately. How to say, just quickly to see what was going on there. It was just too interesting for me. Somewhere there, when he, okay, this was stupid, but somewhere here with knight c7, c6 was a mistake. Okay, who is to know? We'll analyze it more closely. Weekend game was winning. Unbelievable. Not king g4, but rook g1 first, and then I don't allow g2. Then I don't allow g2, and I get immediately king g4 and rook g3. That hurts. What to do? Missed chances everywhere. Yeah, h4. This is probably some theory which he's familiar with. I haven't suggested this in my course. I suggested something completely different. h4. I think I should take. Do I think the Banco Gambit is a good choice at GM level? No, I don't think it is. I've seen it once, all of this. I've seen it on some game between, I think, two international masters in England. One young one from the Netherlands and an English. I think the game followed with takes f5, and then something extremely weird happened here. This is extremely sharp, and I'm not that familiar with it, which is the problem. Even though it's a line I wrote a course about, I didn't give this line for white. I remember it briefly, but my opponent probably knows it better than me. The team Ophelia is playing near my place. If Pascal is there, I might go watch. Go ahead. Board 2 from Haibach said, Banco Gambit, I'm a pawn up, my perspective. I mean, I also always take the pawn. I take on b5 and then I take on a6. Okay, he does take rook h5. f5, I do remember it being theory. I don't remember anything more about it. That's the problem. Obviously, when you know that something is theory, you know it's good, but you're not sure why it's good. For example, after bishop h6, if I didn't know it was theory, it would be extremely hard for me to enter this line. But yeah, this is today's chess. We like our pawns and we like them free. I mean, always take the pawns. Counterplay will fade and the pawns will stay. That's my perspective on it. Now, of course, you can play the Banco. It's not like the end of the world if you play the Banco. I have never tried it in a tournament game, but I probably will in the future. Still, it's not the greatest opening in the world, and that's why it's not so popular. You're currently thinking about. Oh wait, you search for something spicy against c4, but you don't want to be worse. In the King's Indian is a very good choice. I think it's the best choice. The King's Indian, when you compare possibilities of playing for a win, which would include like Banco Benoni, King's Indian, openings like that. Dutch, I think the best one to choose is the King's Indian. It's the most work too. But yeah, Noteboom, that's interesting, but if they play a Maran or something, then you will not be able to really do it. Noteboom, I was trying all with white and black. Okay, my opponent takes here. Recapturing is very normal. Not sure if it's best to need to understand things about the position. Long castles will go with a tempo because this stuff will be hanging. So, takes. There's also bishop h6 always. If I play f4, what's happening there? That's the most forcing move. Bishop c5 takes. Queen d5 check is the most likely move to be played. My bishop remains here, which I don't want. And recapturing seems so normal. Long castles. Maybe knight d6 then. Or bishop e6 even. King is still so exposed. Now is the time to burn 5 or 10 minutes to understand what the best move is, probably. Yeah, 4 takes. I'm not convinced about f4. If I don't recapture, then he'll take on b7. That should not be able. I should not be able to play such moves. So queen e8. Removing the defense of d6 feels extremely weird. BC. Don't see any other reasonable moves. You are worse in the King's Indian. What to do? And Benoni, I don't know. Take. Yeah, if takes, if bishop c5 takes, that should be quite good, I feel like. Though it's also not 100% sure if it takes. 94 again, my pieces feel somewhat sketchy, but rook d4 do feel like it's good. So long castles, it's to be played. Yeah, okay, let's recapture. I don't see other alternatives at this point. Yeah, long castles. Bishop h6, I don't think it was that good. I have all the winning chances in the world with the King's Indian. However, what the position objectively is, zero clue. I have all the losing chances too, that's maybe a problem. I mean, yeah, Benoni, you can say many things about it, but it's not great. It's worse than the King's Indian. It doesn't have to be all that much work, it depends which lines you choose about the King's Indian. So yeah, knight d6 is very logical to try to go to d4. Knight d6, if queen d6, I can go I can throw the queen away somewhere, or I can even trade and then go f4. Not that concerned with queen d6. Rook f5, I mean, I can take here, I can go knight d4, those I don't think I'm that concerned with. But yeah, I'll have to make one of those moves. Okay, got some message, but it's less important. I think knight d6. These moves, like with the attacking potential, something like queen b6 and rook b8, don't really believe in. Even though queen b6, you need to consider the move, that's for sure. Bishop h6, because if queen d6, then I can go knight b3 and take on e3. That's good. Bishop h6. Yeah, it feels extremely shaky with queen g5 being a threat. And rook g5 also. I just don't believe in it. I think I have to go for this one and see what happens. Or wait, maybe I just blundered some stuff. Because for some reason I thought after this to go knight d4, but in reality, I'm not sure how good it is. I forgot it after fg4. Yeah, this is not how GMs should play. This is very bad. So do I have an alternative line? Maybe with knight f4, take, fg4. Then my bishop's open. I like that better with a3 and queen f6. Still, I shouldn't. I mean, the main reason I played knight f6 is because I didn't see any other good options. Maybe I should have considered bishop e6 too. But yeah, the whole line might not be that great. You saw serious per Grandmaster Repertoires on Mar del Plata, which was 3 or 4 books. Yeah, but you don't have to go for Mar del Plata. You can choose many different lines. The Mar del Plata itself actually has not been considered great these days. Hello Hoshi, knight b8. And you probably mean knight b7 to defend stuff. But then, I mean, that move I didn't even seriously consider because I was extremely worried about the attack. I mean, it pacifies my knight, and then, for example, moves like e5 opening things up with bishop h6 will be extremely dangerous. Of course, I will analyze all of the games when all 4 games are over, and then we'll be able to talk about it in a better detail. I think knight f4 is better than knight d4. Queen e8, maybe I could have included last move that had I included queen e8 to attack the rooks, some rooks somewhere, or queen h2, but then at least yeah, but queen h2 was also a problem. Yeah, I don't know. I will have to check the line. That's the main thing. Knight f4 seems best. Knight f4 takes fg4. Don't see any other options at this point. I'll have to take here. Now, okay, for the good thing for now is that he can't move the pawns just yet. This one I take and this one I take here. So now it's my turn to try to mix things up if I can. In order to do that, I would need to include motives with a3 and queen f6. So a3 will probably provoke b3, but then after queen f6, king c2. I mean, who knows what's going on actually? Because he can't go knight e4. If we go queen f6 first, then there is of course knight e4, and that's definitely not desirable, because then there are all kinds of f6 motives and stuff. I think a3 is basically the only move here. Some knight d5s don't work. Yeah, okay. This feels like a must. Could try to hold on with some bishop e5s or something. Just doesn't look right. I think I have to, like, I won't have any advantage from the b file, I think. I have to try to exploit the diagonal instead. So queen f6. Again, it's hard to imagine another move due to the fact that knight e4 is going to come, or queen d, no, not queen d6, but knight e4. Now I'm creating a threat at least. Yeah, I wondered about a3. I think this is what I have to do. Otherwise, it's just bad. Okay, he plays rook h3 quite quickly, actually. Trying to, I suppose, take on d6. Okay, now there are several possible alternatives. Let's think about this. I don't think I should allow this. So probably f3 is a very interesting move to play. Why? Because it creates one threat, and if rook takes, then there is another threat. Yeah, if king c2, then, well... Okay, that's also possible. Okay, let's see the alternatives. Rook e8, rook e3, I'm too slow with because of this, so d5 might be the only possible alternative here. Yeah, this rook h3 might be quite good, unfortunately for me. Here, king c2, this still looks like the most promising option. Some passive defense, I don't think it can be good. He will take on f4 and then play g5. And hello to GM Shadow. Thank you for supporting Chess. I mean, I'm not somebody who is... I don't have any relations with chess.com or with Chess. I'm just streaming chess on both platforms occasionally. King c2 was also fine. Can he just sack exchange f3? Yeah, rook f4, queen e5, knight e2, but in these lines you're giving up queen b2 or queen a1, and it's quite sketchy. I think king c2 is much better. It's not allowing anything. Yeah, I need to activate my pieces somehow, and I don't know how. Or if it's even possible. Maybe it's not possible. Maybe I destroyed my position and it's beyond repair. Wouldn't be surprised there either. I mean, f3 I think I should play. Because if I don't play it, queen f4 will come. So let's just play that. Seems the process of elimination tells me that it's the only move, basically. No, wait. I again forgot about something tactically. Which is very, very bad. Forgot about something tactically with g5. Bishop g5, rook g3. Okay, that would probably mean that I have to go queen g5. That's not necessarily bad, because queen g5 takes king sour, I can take bishop f5 and just pretend I'm equal, even though I'm probably not equal yet. There are chances. But yeah, I didn't see that in the beginning. That's not good. Main reason I was thinking exchange sack was just because those g and f pawns are gonna be so difficult for you if you trade bishop for the rook. That's also bad. That's a very valid point. But yeah, I don't think that's too good. But you have seen in the past two games that my play has not been there in GM level. Yeah, king c2 played. Must be expected. So what to play now? queen d6 is not a threat yet, or g5. So he needs a move with rook f3. That means I have also a move to do whatever I want. But what do I want? I just don't really see good replies. I probably should open everything up here with d5, because simply don't know what else I can even try. If I don't do anything, things will just be bad. But it also comes with a huge risk because bishop c4 will become, or queen d5. Those moves will become nuisance. So let's try to think about it. Takes. Queen d5, rook f7. If takes, he gets checkmated. There is queen d8. And I will have to trade the queens, and I'm lost. So I can't take cd5. If I go rook d8, that's probably interesting. Because then after rook f3, I might also have rook d5. cd5 is possible too. Yeah, okay, let's play it. I'm burning a lot of time. And I just can't find another move which I would even remotely consider. And of course, he can take here. I haven't talked about this too much, but I think it allows me to play d4. It gives me quite a lot of chances because, for example, I think position here d4. If knight e4, I have this intermezzo with d3 check, and then whatever he does, if he takes with any piece, queen b2 is checkmate. If he takes with the king, there is queen d4 check, and the knight e4 will drop. And if he moves him a knight to another square, it's quite similar. I think I got a lot of counterplay there. Why does d5 blunder the game? If you see something that I don't, tell me. Rook e8 is interesting, and what would happen if he takes here? Then threatening g5. It doesn't seem good to me, at least. Rook e4, that actually did occur to me. Rook e8, rook f3, rook e4, but what happens if he plays g5? Which threats have I made? That's why I gave this up. He would have just resigned. Never resign. Don't resign until it's like, as long as you have even a stalemate option, don't resign. Okay, so he does take. And now, what are our alternatives? CD5 is, as we said, no good. Rook d8 maybe? Or I need to get rid of... I mean, there are possibilities. There is even rook a5, rook a5 with this. There is rook d8. And I just can't seem to make the tactics work. Okay, rook d8 seems natural. Because if d6, I can take it. Also after I get the f8 square for my pieces. An alternative might be bishop a6. Takes, rook f3, cd5, I don't like it. Okay, now I've currently sacrificed 2 pawns and it might become even more. All for the activity. For example, you can imagine bishop c4 not being that great after king f8. Then the pin remains, and also bishop b7, rook c8 is gonna come. So there is play left. There is always counter chances in the king's Indian. Just I'm not sure if it makes sense. Yeah, king f. Problems. d6 takes bishop c4. That was my original idea, but this is a check. So that means problems. Maybe big ones. Big problems. I blundered stuff. I blundered many things in this game. This was a bad game from a start to finish, it seems. Of course, I will still not resign and I will try to find chances, but it doesn't look good at all. Maybe I need to play something like this with the idea of going to d5 with the rook, but bishop c4 is coming, and then king f8, rook f3. Suddenly start losing options. This was really bad. Is there any alternative? I should have gone bishop a6, but I also don't think that was too good. And I'm not happy with how this game went. Not happy at all. And what's worst, I'm not sure what have I done wrong. It's the worst part of it. Yeah, just nothing I can do, right? Not a thing. Not a thing. This doesn't do too much. You can go bishop c4 and rook f3, but don't see alternatives. Don't see anything for myself. Probably because there isn't anything. Bishop f5, he takes and takes. I go queen d3. He goes queen d3 and nothing. Maybe it's the duck's fault. What's that supposed to mean? It's my own fault. Or it's no one else's fault that I have such a horrible position than my own. Bishop h6 stuff. Yeah, I don't have counterplay. Oh. Can't even make frets. Position's falling apart. I mean, the rook is still defended on h3 because he goes queen d3, not bishop d3. See you, Shalang. The day will get nicer only if I can turn this match around, which is highly unlikely. Hope that you'll win there, Shelling. Or should I say hope that we are going to win, considering it's my team in my club. Too, not only yours. Yeah, queen d4, I have to try to do something, but objectively there is nothing. q1 is probably game over. Knight d4 is maybe even stronger. Yeah, just don't have moves at all. At this point, my position was already falling apart. Not much I can do there. That was a horrible game. That was really, really bad. Okay, let's play something more solid. Let's play knight f3, g3, for example. Considering my opponent knows theory extremely well, I will definitely try to go to some muddy waters and not... Yeah, what have I done wrong in this game? This is extremely, like, 96. What was the move? Queen e8, yeah, that's what I understood immediately after. Here there was probably no chance whatsoever. Just crushed completely. That's why my opponent is, I won't say super GM, but close to it. Is there an exponential worsening position the more pieces you go behind? Not necessarily, it just depends on the position. Okay, let's try for castles. Then maybe with maybe I'll play with c4, maybe with d4. We'll see what he does. Yeah, too bad that it has gone. That past game has gone the way it went. My opponent spent some time thinking about how to play. Okay, now I can play c4. After dc, play those kind of positions. I can play slowly b3, bishop b2, d3. Also play with d3, knight d2, e4 to go for some kind of King's Indians attack. I might do. As this setup is actually quite flexible. You can play for Greenfields, you can play for King's Indians, you can play quite a lot of setups. Yeah, c4 I don't really want to play because I don't have much experience in these positions, which is important to have. Let's play with d3, knight d2 and d4, play it in a King's Indian style. Chess is not fair. Today chess was fair, there wasn't any winning positions lost. Okay, that first game I had chances to win, but before I had chances to lose too. Okay, maybe let's play with queen e2. Or should I play normally with rook e1? Let's try to play with queen e2. Why not? For a change. I've always been playing with rook e1. These are training games. Here we can try new things. There, it's not the most important if I win or lose. Now, in order to win the match, I need to win the next two games. It's not the most important thing to win, but it's satisfying always to win and not to lose. That's what everyone will agree on. Okay, so how am I supposed to do this? Maybe with c3. Or should I go e5 first? Okay, let's go c3. Usually when they go for like this with b5 and you have the queen e2 setup and not rook e1, your idea is to play e5 and after knight d7 to go some a4 and after b4 always go c4. And then you can try to claim that you will have this more space on the king side, and the queen side will remain quite blocked, and it usually is the case. So yeah, e5 there, a4, if you can go a6, then I would not really like this. So maybe I'm supposed to wait a bit. I can't wait. Okay, I have to play e5 or a4. 4a6. Technically, I also don't have to touch anything. Okay, let's play a4 for a start. If b4, then I'll go e5 and c4. That's 100%. But he'll probably go here, or okay, he won't take. I think he will probably play. He goes b4. This is extremely risky strategically, as far as I understand these positions. e5 takes. He takes the pawn, loses a piece. If he takes here, takes, then I will. Truly, that's fine. Okay, now I like my position. This is usually strategically good when you reinforce with b3 and then you just play on the king side with rook e1 there. They usually open the d file, but you always have more space here. I don't think he was supposed to play b4. Okay, he takes. I will take for sure. Queen c7, rook e1. I have to defend stuff. Now, the only thing I need to be careful is with playing b3. Why? Because then it could, for example, in some of these lines, in the end, bishop f6 could come with this stuff. It's probably not so bad with in the end anyway, because I'll have two pieces for a rook, but you're not a fan of knight b3. Knight b3 is almost 100% going to be stopped with knight a5 um, in this structure. Otherwise, I will probably play it, but okay, sometimes the knight belongs in e4 too. Knight b3 would be good if it's allowed. And considering I have more space, what would be logical is also to keep as many pieces on the board as possible if I want to have some attacking potential or something. That's why my opponent does this, which actually I don't think is very good. Who am I to judge? Had he taken here, there was probably 96, so he has to recapture immediately. Okay, now let's try to think of a plan. What I definitely don't want to do is to allow the knight to come to c5. That needs to be prevented any way possible. So this looks logical at first. And now, knight e4, knight b3, but in knight e4 there could be b3 ideas, etc. Also knight b3, I think is by far the most logical move. Here. Yeah. His knight is a superior piece, though makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So for example, takes, then I'll be able to take, solidify with b3, then block this pawn with bishop b2, rook d1, and like play 50 more moves until some endgame where I get in the end get the king to e4 and take this pawn. So strategically this should be a weakness. And this one is not really attackable as far as I understand this. I also have bishop f4 if needed. Yeah, if he doesn't go for knight c5, then it's kind of hard to suggest moves. Okay, this is hanging for now. That's of course a very fair point. But I don't think I would take here because after b3 and queen b4, I mean, I don't want the structure to be like that. This I will just leave. This blocks the opponent's possibilities. Uh, and yeah, bishop f4, h4, pretty common idea in the King's Indian attack. But here it's not really attack. I exchanged too many pieces. of for an attack. And thank you very much to Alex GM96 for raiding with a party of 6. I hope you had a nice stream. And yeah, welcome here. Yeah, I don't have, sorry, I'm not a professional streamer, so I can't give a shout out. But definitely you can follow Alex GM96. He's an international master from Montenegro, and he's always making instructive content. Um, so how do I want to play this position? We're playing here some rapid training matches. Hopefully they will be instructive. Yeah, and fancy for you. Uh, welcome to the stream also. Fish Random Chess is also here. How do we play this? Yeah, taking the pawn is surely not what I want, I think. That pawn needs to stay here to be blocked. I don't know if d3 is a threat, because d3 takes, then there is knight e5. And then, yes, d3 is probably a threat. And yeah, I should stop it with queen d3, I think. But let's see this knight d4 move a bit. I really just don't think it's time for pawn grabbing for many reasons. b3 or even knight c5. After knight c5, bishop e3, I don't know, that could be good for me. b3. And I can't go bishop e3 because of the hanging pawn. Huh. Yeah, okay, I don't know if knight d4 bishop c5, then I go back, then I don't see counterplay, honestly. With knight c5 moves like that are more, or b3 to stop me from doing that. So I think this move makes the most sense. Hmm. I mean, I'm tempted to pawn grab because I always do it. There might be another problem with that though. That's knight e5, queen e5, bishop f6, the motive I mentioned briefly, but there is queen b5, so that's not a problem actually. Takes b3. I mean, there's knight b5 and this also. 5 knight c, knight d4, knight c5, bishop b3. Like, I don't see a reason not to capture the pawn, honestly. Yeah, also that's audience, and доброе утро, good morning. Queen d3 and queen c7 could be played. Bishop f4, and then he might think about g5 things. Because I don't have queen g4 anymore, and he'll take on e5. Also c4 is weak after queen c7, rook c8 is a threat. I think I should take it. After further consideration, I think I should take it no matter the consequences, because I don't see why not. And if I don't take it, then he'll get quite a lot of counterplay. Yeah, this is one of the moves I expect. I think bishop e3 to defend stuff is what's needed. Because if I move the knight, there is knight d3. That should not happen. And if I'm in time with rook d1 and b3, should be very good. And some queen here, for example, if I go rook d1 to defend the knight, he can't take because of knight c6. That's also an important factor to notice. Notice in the position. I mean, I hope that this format is way more instructive for you than those blitz games with no increment we've been doing. I think I will continue doing this way more. Okay, so now considering this pawn is weak, if I go for rook d1, he will just be able to take it. So an alternative is of course knight b5. Then after knight d3, what's going on there? e5 is again hanging, I don't like it. What's my opponent's next move? I'm not 100% sure. It could be some rook c8 reinforcing move or something. Knight d3 is not to be allowed. Rook d1 is not possible. Some moves like, I mean, f4, bishop f2. Technically it's possible. Just don't know if it's any good. But at least this pawn will be way more protected. So it's surely something to consider. Maybe queen e4 is a problem then. Queen e4. Knight b5. Knight d3, rook d1, knight b2. Who knows what's going on there? It's a mess. And f4 weakens too many squares for me to like it. Rook d1, queen e4. Then maybe I can go queen f3. No, then there is rook d4. Again, it's kind of hard to find a move. I can go a5, but it's not really ideal to play such moves. How to deal with this, really? If a5, he can even go a6, and then I don't have knight b5 motives anymore. They're maybe not the most important thing in the world, though. If I go queen f3, it's really not a move I want to play. After takes, knight d3, I have rook e2, rook c8. Knight d4, rook c4, knight b3. He gets huge amounts of counterplay there too. Somehow he always outplays me. Maybe f4 anyway. Queen e4. Rook d1. Okay, if this is included, then f4 is better for me. That's for sure. It's kind of hard to understand what to play for here. It's only kind of, but very hard to me at least. Okay, let's go a5, considering I don't see a threat yet. Dragons are always tough to play, except Olympia basketball this season. Yeah, I don't really follow basketball. It's one of the rare sports I don't follow. And hello, Amen Plays. Can you play me? No, sorry, I'm currently playing a match against another Grandmaster, and I'm in general not playing against the viewers. There are many channels who are, so I'm pretty sure it's easy to find someone to play against if you're interested in that. Okay, a6 that was expected, but now f4 should be at least more to the point, if nothing else. So after queen e4, this stuff happens. Okay, he doesn't go queen e4. He just develops. It just develops peacefully. Okay, interesting. Should I go rook ad1 or rook ed1? Rook ed1 feels more to the point, honestly, because I don't need it here. Now their knight d3 ideas are never a problem. I also can't move the knight to a normal square for now. Okay, let's go here. I also burned quite a lot of time. If some queen e4, now I can even play king f2 with no problems. There is no knight d3. Can solidify, and because he also can't move his knight to a useful square. He can go to e4, but then this is going to be weakened after some rook d3 things, I think. Is he from Croatia? I mean, my opponent wants to stay anonymous, but they gave me permission to stream the match, so I won't play. You wanted to play a GM since you've never played one? I mean, there are GMs who are playing against viewers and also creating arenas for the viewers and making simuls. So there, I'm sure you can find them. Just search for some GM channels on Twitch. Don't think I ever want to play f5. Technically, it could be an idea, but I'm not sure what am I achieving. It just feels like I'm going to weaken 10 more squares for no real reason, because I can't really attack. If I would have queen g4 and f5, then maybe, but he just has too much activity. Too much activity there, in my opinion, that is. I'll go look for one, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen. Okay, first of all, those strong GMs like Bortnik, Nakamura, all of them are creating arenas sometimes for viewers, and you get to play them too, I think. But even if not, there are some who just have stream titles challenge me or playing against viewers. Um, if you're new to Twitch, if you're new to Twitch, then I'm not familiar with the names. I'm not that familiar with the names too and who is doing what on Twitch. But yeah, just I'm not really playing viewers. For me, it's more about competitive matches, instructive things, etc. Tournaments. Yeah, blink once if it's Šarić and twice if it's Bosiocic. If I blink 0 times, yeah, here I intended King F2. Still, I'm not sure if that's a great move, but it was my intention. Because I can't go bishop f2, there is rook d4, unfortunately, and then tactics don't work for me. I mean, I think I hold all the squares. I'm holding d3. He can move the queen technically and threaten knight d4, but knight d4 is one check. Nothing more. And there are ways to improve my position with rook d2, rook d1, I think at least. Or rook c1, rook c3. Though that will allow some knight d4 ideas. Still a complicated position. My next move might be... Okay, I'm not sure if it would be knight f3. It could be... Okay, queen f3 runs into this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So, Fish Random Chess tried to help with this link. St. Louis Chess Club. There are different GMs often playing with viewers. Okay, thank you very much for that. I will share the link considering Nightbot. Yeah, the Nightbot settings I should also fix, not fix, but change. If 0, then Shubei. I mean, Okay, rook c7. Probably rook d2 I should play to solidify this knight even further. At least it feels logical. One of the downside of that last move I made is that when the queen is moved somewhere, I don't know, to some square, then knight e4 is going to be a threat of a double attack. But I think I can go king g1, for example, and then okay, if knight there, then I can go rook d3 at least, and if king g1, what was I gonna say? If queen e4 back, then I can go bishop f2, and now the queen is protected. Okay, so he's doing this first trying to make me play rook d1, which I guess I have to, if I'm not mistaken. And then maybe he will put the queen somewhere to b7 or some square like that. And then the position remains very interesting. So king g1. I mean, maybe there was some better way of me playing this whole thing after queen e4, but I didn't really see it. So maybe after king g1, knight e4, rook d3, knight here. I would have to repeat moves, which is not ideal, but maybe I can go rook c3. That would leave my knight pinned, those reluctant to play those things. I would probably have to after king g1, rook d3, hold the repetition. If he plays some different move, then maybe I can go knight f3 finally, and after this, king f1, knight b2, rook d7, that should be winning, because if knight d1, rook d8, bishop d8, queen d1, queen e3, there is queen d8 in the end. I'm not sure if you follow that. This match has not been going my way thus far. But at least it was hopefully instructive for the viewers. If he doesn't make any move, maybe this is also a threat. But yeah, he makes a logical move. I think I have to move the king away. Stop this. This is the only move as far as I can see. Some c5s don't make sense. Knight b3 is bad. And now, if he wants to play for a win, there is some bishop c5. But this hangs, and I don't know. Can even play probably knight f3. Curious whether I can play for a win or not with rook c3, because you guys know that I hate draws. He might not repeat, though. He might play some different move, but I'm not sure which one. So he does repeat. Rook c3. If knight e4, then I have rook b3, I think. Which is what I didn't see at first. So let's calculate. Rook c3, here rook b3. Queen b3. Knight b3, rook d1. And if king here, there is rook d2. Bishop d2. No, wait, my knight is on b3. I'm talking nonsense. What's wrong with me? c3. Take d1, king g2. Doesn't look bad for me, honestly. Though there are some rook d3 things and it's quite a messy business, but he doesn't have to take, of course, or he can play a move like queen b4 or something and then remain pinned, so don't really think I should go for this, even though, for example, rook c3 here, rook c1, and I'm threatening knight c6. But after rook c3, at least he can go here back and then there are huge problems. I'm actually not sure what to do against it, so I have to go back, I think. Yeah, very instructive. I'm not sure if it's very instructive, but you need to go do errands. Hope the rest of the match goes well. Well, there is only one last game, and then we'll analyze the games. Okay. And we have to win, so I have to play the King's Indian again. I just have to choose some different line. Just have to choose a different line. And not that one. Obviously, he has some preparation there. Okay, let's go knight d7 and move 5. Okay, he goes knight f3. Now we'll play e5. Yeah, bishop e3. There was one training game which I already played against him, in which I played d4 and rook e8. And then I got crushed. I want to play something else now. This guy's tough. Of course, he's a stronger player than me. Okay, we have to make this as less theoretical as possible. Just make sure we play head versus head. How do we do that? Okay, let's play b6. These moves have become like b6, h6. Moves like this have become quite popular recently against against these structures, just to make a waiting prophylactic move. And wait, so now bishop b7 is surely a move, but then after d5, I'm putting a bishop in a square where I don't really want it to be. Still, the rook remains on f8 then. I could play a move like a5 first. I'm not sure if I want such things, but then at least I'm seizing some space. And after after d, I don't know, bishop b7, d5, knight c5, bishop c2, a5, a3. Go a, no, I can't go a4. Kind of hard to attack. Technically, I can go knight h5. Trying to go knight f4. I don't know, let's try. Could also be Niemann, his ability rage is very strong. How should I comment to that? Yeah, I don't know, maybe bishop b7 was the correct strategy to force d5 and then go knight h5. Who is to know? The bishop just then hits a wall of pawns and he's faster with b4 and all the King's Indian stuff. Well, here there are options with bishop g5, knight d5, some provoking stuff because I can't go here. Then I would be forced to play either bishop f6 or f6. Or go back, of course, and I don't really want either of those three. But we'll see. The way you shrugged your head. I guess you suggested it might be Neiman, because I have never been able to win a game against him. On stream, at least. And here I'm also unable to win any game. Yeah, I can also make a brief analysis of that last game now, but later it should be more 94 here. I'm surely better just understand how this goes. Yeah, 4 was maybe wise. Yeah, draw. We'll see, of course, in more detail all the games later. Queen d2. It's quite clear what he wants. Now when he spent a move on queen d2, which, okay, for example, had I played bishop b7 first, then he goes d5, I go knight h5, he would be able to go knight d2, maybe and f3, and do all these King's Indian things. Now if I go bishop b7, that's no longer possible. So now if he goes d5, then f5 is already in the airs, and seems better than it was. So I'll play it anyway. I don't know if it's good. F5 seemed too risky. Maybe it was also something to consider. F5 last move. This felt too dangerous with all bishop g5s and knight d5s in the air and possibilities of opening the position. So yeah, this is the game which I definitely need to win, considering the match situation. The problem is I can't really go h6, queen f6, knight f4, because h6 you can take. Maybe now is the time for f5. Considering the bishop is already here, then it gets some additional options, which might be good. So let's see, f5. If takes here, there is f4. That's not good. Takes here, bishop f3 takes. That looks quite promising into GM. So bishop g5 might be best. Bishop f6 probably. He can never take on e5 because this knight f4 is going to come. Huh. Knight g5, there is f4. Then knight e6 I can take. Okay, show me. Okay, bishop g5 is almost 100% what he's going to play. The other moves don't seem to be that good. I think here, I think bishop f6. Also threatening d4 after that. If takes here, takes, then he will have to take even here. Again, the position itself is still like total mess, but I have winning chances and that's what I need. Maybe he can play some knight d5 move, but then at least I can take and play f4 and strategically it looks very promising. Hmm. At least he's thinking. That's a positive sign. I've been down on the clock during this whole match. Hmm. Okay, this is an interesting move. I thought at the beginning it's not too good because I can take knight e5. But let's see if it's really true. So knight e5. If f3 or something, then there is knight f3 followed by bishop g5. If bishop f6, I can include knight f3, gf, queen f6. That seems amazingly good with the king. But if knight e5, I can play bishop g5. And then this is still hanging and there are no more checks. So as far as I understand, he made a big mistake. But we will see. I'm unsure about anything after the things I blundered today. Okay, bishop f6, but now I take with a check. Now queen takes, rook takes makes way less sense. And yeah, there are holes everywhere. Fe4 is coming. Yeah, this is very good now. Maybe he got a bit tired. But yeah. Now he might go for some tactics with GF. With EF, sorry, but there's bishop f3 and you can even take TF. Recapture simply and play king h8, rook g8, and queen h4. Just king is extremely weak. It doesn't mean that I'm going to win the game. Let's be very clear about that. It just means that I have a great position. And hello to Gucci Pigeon 372. Yeah, these matches I will definitely post on YouTube later. Hopefully they will make some instructive content. So you can of course watch them there and subscribe if you feel like supporting. By the way, I'm not 100% sure if I'll have time to analyze the games after we are finished on stream, but I will try my best. I will have to do something else too. My hair looks quite bad. I'll have to get rid of it. But that's a thing for another time or for another stream. Okay, so my opponent plays sides for knight d5. Sorry, I just have to check something on the phone. Immediately back on the stream. Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is very simple and clear. With bishop d5, he's probably going to capture with the e pawn. And then after queen h4, I go bishop f1. And I go here, he goes some king h2 probably. And yeah, the position remains great for me. That's surely what I can do. Maybe there is a better option somewhere on the road, for example, queen h4. After knight c7, I'm pretty sure that knight f4 is winning because I'm threatening queen g5. Okay, wait, let's see. Queen h4, knight c7, knight f4, bishop f1. It's probably still not that clear, or as clear as I would like it to be. Queen g5, there is still this. The knight will be nicely parried from the side of this bishop. That's fine. Okay, Shariko. Sarhiko. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Sorry. Taking here like seems like the only option. It's not the only option. It's probably best. It gives him the file for now though, but I think I'll be able to live with that, considering all the weaknesses he has. Now this is a move too. Hasn't occurred to me before. Queen e4 makes a threat. Queen c2, then knight f4, bishop f1. Yeah, I would like my queen on h4. I can also parry the e-file first and then do all of those things. Yeah, queen h4. Bishop f1 probably only move. Knight f4. Some rook e3 he plays. Yeah, thinking about this more and more, it's probably wiser to parry the e-file first because he can't really stop me from going knight d4. Just let's see how to do it in the best possible way. Here he might be able to go rook e3 too. I want him to have rook e3 if that's possible. So here rook e3, then I have queen g5 in one move. That could be important. Hmm. Queen h4, bishop f1. That knight on f4 will be stopped by the bishop for now at least. h2. Okay, let's bring our last piece into the game. My microphone level is too low. Sorry, I'll go. Okay, feel free to do that. I'm sorry if the microphone level is not good. Something on the settings is maybe wrong. My mic is great. He's wrong. I mean, maybe it's just that you have a higher volume than Sasita. I don't know. Okay, bishop f1. He plays a prophylactic move. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I can do anything else besides queen h4 and knight f4. If I go rook e5, he will take it. Maybe I should do that, like rook e5. Rook e5 and take with the pawn. It's kind of sketchy. I can make it louder? Probably yes. On some settings, but we'll do it later now. I mean, it seems like okay, doesn't matter. Queen h4, he will go rook e3, I suppose. And then if we go queen g5, okay, it's not as easy as I thought it would be. No, I mean, I didn't think it would be easy to win this position, but just there are even more defensive ideas than I originally thought. Maybe I'm supposed to change the plan completely and play f4. Because after f4, my knight is going to come here, at least in theory. Because in reality, it could be stopped. Yeah, I'm struggling quite a lot with a position as nice as this one. Yeah, queen h4, rook e3. It doesn't seem to be all that great. Maybe g5 is something I should play with knight f4, and then I have options of this too. Until again go rook e3, knight f4. Can't say I'm 100% sure about that either. I should just make some strategical normal move. So which one when I'm not sure what's good. Okay, let's follow. Let's make the most logical move and see what happens. And there are some options which I also have, like rook e3. Then I can include queen g5, king goes to h2 or somewhere. Then I can go rook e5, and then the queen remains pinned. Then I can double and hold the squares. But I definitely can't say that I'm too happy with how the last few moves went. I'm not sure that I had something better, but yeah. The chat is a bit silent. I'm not sure if there are people left, but yeah, I really hope that the microphone is not a problem for most people at least. Yeah, you're thinking so am I, don't worry. Even if you outplay an opponent completely strategically, and he has like one of the worst pawn structures and a horrible bishop, still it's not easy to win, to break through. At least that was always the hardest thing for me. Now he's also burning quite a lot of time, unsure whether to play rook e3 or something else. But yeah, considering he's pinning himself, yeah, he goes b4, ignoring everything, claiming that I just don't have a good reply, which is maybe true. Now one of the moves I will surely, maybe I should have gone a5 for this reason, but what to do? I even thought about it for some time, just didn't feel like the right move to play there. Here he will go king h2. Maybe it's now the time for me to start pushing these pawns. But I don't really want to weaken because he can take and go rook e1. Maybe I should play queen f4 and play an endgame. Which also seems amazingly good. Like I'm thinking about this and rook e5 also. We'll go rook e3, rook e8, rook e1, and then who knows what's going on. We don't have a breakthrough, that's for sure. Okay, let's play queen f4. You're often losing in positions where you have the advantage. Well, chess is not fair. What else to say? Should probably play a5 in that position here. Okay, he doesn't want to trade. Just goes this way. Now I did take a square for my knight. I'll have to speed up. I will have to speed up. My position is not nearly as good as I thought at the first glance. Okay, I will have to switch. I will have to change plans completely. Just try to exchange the rooks, play knight g7, and then try to play for some endgame where he still has a horrible pawn structure. He'll go queen d2. I'm pretty sure. No, but then wait. Maybe then I can play rook e5, and then he can't take. And also he can't play rook e3 because of the a1 hanging rook. So yeah, if he moves the queen away back because of the king placement on h2 after rook e5, it could be better for me than it was. Hopefully. I only have 2 minutes and he has 6. By the way, will this make the microphone sound better? Now I've changed some setting in OBS. If he goes f4, I think I can take and go queen h4, attack here. He can't defend it. He can go rook there, but I think I can go rook f7, then rook e8 here, and even king h6, and then take. But okay, who is to know? It could give quite a lot of counterplay. So maybe he can play f4, but at least I can even go back, and then Yeah, f4, rook e8, and then this pawn is going to be a target. We might go f4. There's even rook e4 to immediately attack it. By the way, if there's anyone in the chat, can you please tell me if the microphone sounds different now, or better or worse after I've changed the settings, or is it just the same and nothing changed? You didn't feel the volume was increased. Okay, good, good. That means I need to do something else. Okay, rook c1, but now I at least get control of the file, even though he will be able to play c5 and all of those things. Okay, queen takes. And I'm not sure if that control over the file means that much, but we'll see. Hmm. Yeah, I'm again trying to be clever. Queen g5, king h2. Knight f4 would be amazing if I could go here, but I'm not in time. Still, need to do something. Maybe I can go king f7 first, then c5. Okay, let's not think that much. Some queen d2 pinning move runs into knight h3, which is good. Rook e2 is a threat, so I'm pretty sure he will play this one, and then at least I can take queen takes. Hmm. I wanted to say that I should play king f7 then, but he has queen e3. Yeah, I didn't play this all too well. Okay. I probably still have to play something like this. So yeah, now my opponent is probably going to place queen e3. I mean, I'm not even sure what's there to think about. It seems like the best move by far. Otherwise, I get in queen e7, queen e5, and the endgame is very suffering. Like this, he's spinning. And he will play c5 probably, and maybe even c6. They need a way to untangle, which is not easy at all. Yeah, I actually played it very, very badly. out of that great position. Now I have a suffering position. Okay, I suppose I will go here and king h6. This feels like the safest square, which my king is going to have in the position. He can play something like queen a3. Then at least I can go queen h4 and attack here. I probably play c5. Then I will not touch anything, that's for sure. And I will play king h6, trying to go knight h5 and break the stupid pin which I made for myself. Also d5 will be hanging. I don't know what the position objectively is honestly anymore. Might not even be better. But still there is huge amount of weaknesses in white's position. It's hard to believe I'm worse. My king can even go here and it will be extremely safe, I feel like. And the bishop, if the queens ever get traded, the bishop just remains extremely bad. So that's surely a good thing. I only have 15 seconds on the clock, so now it's time to play carefully. He can play some queen d4 and queen h8, but then I have queen e7 holding all the squares. Can go queen e8. Then there is knight h5. There is also queen f6 with queen f7 holding things. It's probably stronger to go queen f6. Queen h4 was possible in the last move? Yeah, but it was surely possible, but what's my next move? I mean, maybe again king g7, but and king h6, but when I want king h6 that the queen is defended, okay, now I'm pretty sure it should go a5. Maybe not. I mean, I think I should, so I will do it. No, actually that was the wrong thing to do. No, this was the wrong thing to do. I should not have done this. I misevaluated something in the position completely after this check. Now if anyone's worse, it's probably me. Because I don't have queen a1, there is check, king h6, queen d6, and I'm not in time to take the bishop. Yeah. In the end, I'm actually going to lose this game, probably. Which is extremely frustrating and yeah. But what can I say? I've had everything in this game. Everything. A much better slash winning position, time advantage, and I have managed to make myself get into this. How? I have no idea how. And now he just needs to move the queen somewhere. Okay, first he will have to put the king back. But yeah, king g1, so I don't even know why he's thinking for that long here, honestly. Maybe he's trying to include queen including queen c7 work. could be even stronger, I wouldn't be surprised. Queen e1 takes 92, king there, and nothing. I'll try to play g5 in order to set up queen e1 with 92, some repetitions, etc. Now I have to fight for draws. Now to that position. I don't know if this whole queen f7 thing is that good. I'm also threatening knight h3 with knight e2. He can give a check and take here, probably. Then the problem is that this is a checkmate threat. Then I have to go either back or play h6. I play h6. That's maybe what I should do, but there is... Okay, let's play h6. Queen f7, there is king h4, and if I can get in h5, my king is safe. I'm still threatening nothing more than a draw. Let's be quite clear about that. It's also important to notice after knight check, king g3, I can give a check here back, because after bishop e2 there is mate, and had I taken the bishop there was queen f7. So he plays some a5, it's still a draw, I think. Yeah, chess is hard. This is... I just don't understand this positional play at all. Now I can take here, no? And I have to, actually. No, but wait, king h2? King g2. First of all, I can repeat, no? No, then he goes king g3. So I have to repeat like this. Yeah. In the end, I'm the one who is surviving this stuff. Yeah. Okay. These were the games. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I can check them briefly. I can check them briefly, like what was I supposed to do, and then and yeah. I mean, this one, the King's Indian game, is the easiest one. No, sorry. This game was a bit. This game was a bit like. I don't think he was supposed to play b4, but who knows? Yeah, knight d4 is probably. I was expecting knight a5, but yeah, high level games. No, this was not high level. This was very bad. I mean, I'm curious what was I supposed to play here instead of f4. So just queen f3. I mean, I did not like this due to takes and knight d3, rook e2, rook c8. I did mention that. Rook d1. This was important to see, I suppose. Rook d2, yeah. Without that, I didn't have much else after I played f4, etc. I don't know. Then the King's Indian game was the easiest one to, because okay, this was that theory. This was that theory which I was familiar with. And yeah, after long castles, I suppose only queen e8 was good. Other moves were not good. I somehow completely forgot about this stuff. Yeah, rook g5 and then f4, dc5. Yeah, something interesting happens there. Still a very messy position. The king's Indian. After that, I had no chances. The first game was like I was suffering for the whole game, and then I got some big chances here. I did not like somehow this a6 move. And yeah, as I said, here I was supposed to prepare this stuff with rook a1, and then go for a4 because this, yeah, this was way too ambitious. Knight c4. Now this is surprising. Like take and g3 and hold the position. I wouldn't do this. I think rook a1 is supposed to play, and here, yeah, I missed rook b8. Without rook b8, it's not that clear. And then I got some chances. With bishop a6. I don't think he saw bishop b7. Without that move, it's not good. But what was I supposed to go? Knight c4 immediately. Yeah, in the game I didn't understand that this is a checkmate, so we'd have to go king c8, bishop, not rook a7, rook b4, and then there is no bishop d4 because of knight b6. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, but that was hard to spot. I only had 10 seconds on the clock. And okay, the rook endgame, I don't think it was anything. Here maybe it was better chance to go king g6, king h5, but then I go rook a6, so it should be a draw again. And yeah, it's probably a draw all the time here, until he allowed me this counterplay. Here with the passive king, this is actually an extremely accurate, an extremely important, this is actually an extremely important maneuver to not allow g2. If I allow g2, my rook has to stay passive, and he's in time to make it a draw. If I play rook b2 or rook g1, then he's just not in time, because I get this in with a tempo and I get in rook d3. It's cut off and actively winning. Unbelievable. And yeah, the last game, yeah, b6, of course, that's just getting out of theory, and yeah, d5 was a big blunder, as we knew. And yeah, I mean, here it's very sketchy. Haidar looked ill, but rook g1, the black king is too far. Yeah, rook g1 is the same, just not to allow. I mean, I played king g4 in that game. And it takes tips to become a GM. Work for 15 years with a coach yourself. Yeah, queen h4. This a5 I was supposed to play. That was stronger. But even this, like, it doesn't change the position that much. But yeah. I'm still better here probably, but then I played this horrible move h5, completely not understanding that he's winning here after queen a1, queen c7, queen d6, because I'm not in time with this. There is f4 hanging, and yeah, like okay g5, okay queen e1. Yeah, maybe that was easier. In the end, I don't think he can escape the perpetual. Okay, so these were the games. I hope you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see. I will post this on YouTube probably today, and then maybe I'll be back to play Bullet in the evening. Now I have to go for like 5 or 6 hours, not 3, and then maybe I'll play Bullet in the evening in the Bullet Brawls and titled arenas, and probably there will be more of these matches. Probably there will be more of these matches. I'm still here, by the way. I'm just trying to find someone to raid you to. Um, okay. We will raid. And yeah. it was interesting. I mean, I'm doing this with different opponents, so the openings and everything will be different if I was streaming against someone else. Um, so yeah, in the future it will go like this, and I will not play no increment blitz anymore for sure, because that's relatively pointless. Okay, have a great day, and bye bye.